Right, welcome. First ride of the year. And the reason that I'm out today is MOT. Leading an MOT. And if you haven't worked out, of course, it's the ZZR. Although the title will give that away anyway. See, there's a lot of bit of salt on the road because we did have a bit of snow yesterday. But luckily it's not wet at the moment, so hopefully not affect me too much. Although I have got AC50 on the bike. An unfortunate time of the year to try and do an MOT because of the winter months, but the bike has not ran. Okay, I've had it up and running here and there. It's been kept on a battery tender, but it has not been on the road since the last trip I did, or the last little run I did last year when I took the 3 bikes out and did the little circuit. So amazingly, still going really well. Still feels it anyway. Now the valves were due to be done on this at 22,500 miles. It's done just under 22,000. But the service book has got in it that the valves were done just before I got the bike, or and mileage wise about 300 miles ago. And I do have receipts for air filter and spark plugs, and all that was done at the same time, so I'm going to believe that it's probably quite true. They were also done at about 11,000–12,000 miles, so they were I was swaying on getting the valves checked. It's something I could do myself, but at the moment I just don't have the time or the space in the workshop to squeeze it in to do it. And I really, you know, I've got the VFR still off the road, I'm still working on that, and I really just didn't want to have another bike disabled. So the MOT was due, and I just thought, bugger it, I'll put it into the dealer that I sometimes use, and I'll let them MOT it and service it. But I'm just going to get an oil filter change done, and I'll you know, the way it's running in that, I'm quite confident. I think that the service book's telling me the truth. But at some point, when I get a chance, I'll maybe have a look at the valves. But to be honest with you, this bike's not going to see massive miles every year, so there's no rush. I'll get an opportunity to maybe check them. The valves on these are bucket and shim, but you are able to slide the rocker arms out the way to prop the valves out. It's quite a neat design, so there's no need to take camshafts out. Although they are a bit tricky, space is confined. You've got to make sure you block up all holes so shims don't disappear. Apologies, but my face guard is going over my mouth, so that's why my voice is getting muffled. Should have thought about that a bit better. So my voice might be slightly muffled. It's not the mic, it's the pieces of cloth stuck in my mouth almost. So she's running beautifully. Amazing. Carbureted bike, you know, it's I don't know if someone has done work on these cars and got a good clean out or something before I got my hands on it, but I've certainly had no problems with it, and that's even after it's sitting. But, over the winter I did fill the tank right up. I'm obviously not using E10 fuel. So yeah, the VFR is the next thing that I want to get going. This is February the 18th and it's cold, but it's not bitter. Nice dry day. I'm a bit lucky to have gotten a dry day, but I had it booked in and there was nothing I was going to do. If it rained, I was going to have to take it. We had snow yesterday. It was just very light snow, but we had snow. It's meant to be a bit sleety today. So apart from fighting a few colds over the winter time, I've been doing a lot of music, so that's been keeping me busy, and I am doing an awful lot with music at the moment. Kind of reborn myself really. I mean, it is what, 1996, so it's going to be coming up for 30 years, isn't it? 30 years old, you know, in a couple of, oh, another year. Another year. You can tell I've not been out for a while. I seem to be blethering a lot, apologies, but nice to be back on the bike. Nice to be back on the bike, and an interesting little fact is when I did that triple day out, that I took the VFR, the Harley and this out, and I said to you, I wonder what ones will get the most views, and I kind of listed them, and I said that I felt that the Kawasaki would definitely get the most views, and I reckoned that the Harley would be next and the VFR would be last. And actually I was right, the Kawasaki did get at least double the views of the other two, but the other two were kind of neck and neck. Not a lot of views, but a lot more attention for the Kawasaki. And as I said before, these bikes are, there's so many people out there that still love these bikes, and you know, not that many have survived. You know, there's plenty that have survived, but a lot of them are not in great condition. And you know, they're probably, unless they get restored, they're not going to survive much longer. So really nice ones are getting quite rare, but there is still a massive love for this bike, because you've got to remember, it was king of the road for 6 years. It was the bike. It was a bike that all the magazines were speaking about. Its performance was just amazing, you know, and it still is. It still is an amazingly fast bike. stand, so you should always switch them off before you put them on your side stand, because it does starve the engine a bit. Something you want to do. Let's see if this will work. Right, so the usual voice commands can be a bit of a hit or miss. They did work in the end, but you've got to have a few goes at it. So that's it then. I'll get back to the garage. Get time, I'll go over the bits of fault for you. Like I want the start of a new season, but it's not, of course. It's a little bit away from that yet. So this is the these are the sort of tech notes. Exhaust headers blowing through hole caused by corrosion. I reckon that's coming from the inside out. Head bearing slightly loose. That's quite common on these bikes. Rear suspension is slight plain linkages, but they reckon they've greased that and it's okay. The rear disc is worn. Need to replace that. Rear tyre leaking offside rim. That must be very, very minor, because it certainly hasn't been going down. That I've noticed that quickly, but if that's a problem, I'll get the wheel off it and get it sorted, like I said. Front brake performance poor on service. Road test advised new pads and the caliper service and disc clean. I didn't think the brakes were too bad, but there you go. It's obviously still something that needs to be looked at. And they did replace the oil filler ring on the filler hole. But other than that, you know, it's a 29-year-old bike. You are going to see things, especially with exhausts and that. I did wonder with the original pipes, because they do look in really good condition, the silencers. They said that silencers are still good. It's just the headers. But once you start taking these things to bits, that's when you'll find out what problems you've got. However, it's not immediate, and it will need done for the next MOT, but I do already have a couple of options on that one, so we'll sort that out over time. But overall, nothing major, and they did give the bike a very positive, a lot of positive comments, and thought it was one of the nicer ones they've seen. So I'm quite happy with that, and that's it then. MOT'd, ready to hit the road this year and get as much as I can out of it. You'll see the other bikes are undercover at the moment. The bike on the right cover, under the right cover, is the project bike that I've not been telling you about. That's the VFR in the middle and the Harley there on the left. It's a typical garage. Too many things in it. Anyway, I'm going to sign off from there. Take care. And I will catch up with you soon. I'm sorry it's been a bit bitsy, but it has been just a bit of a bitsy day, if I'm being honest with you. But take care, everybody. Thanks for watching, and anybody subscribed, thank you again. Stay safe out there, folks. Bye for now.